This is Water Elemental.
And this is Axis, and we are here today to talk about the League of Legends. It's an ongoing show. We talk about everyone's favorite MOBA-style battle game and what's going on in Valorant at large. We got a couple of cool things happening this week. Nothing new as far as patches or champions go, but with the big tournament going on right now, the World Finals, as well as the Heroine coming up soon. Got some cool stuff to talk about. So, let's jump right into it. We, of course, have an upcoming visual upgrade for Twisted Fate.
I like this visual update. He looks not bland.
Yeah, we'll talk about that here in a little bit. We, of course, have the brand new honor system finally put in so you can show your appreciation for fellow summoners, be them friends or enemies. We also have some of the cool stuff for, of course, the World Finals. And finally, we have a handful of new skins and some red posts. So let's jump right into it. Twisted Fate is getting a visual upgrade. Brand new artwork, spell animation.
This is artwork number like 75.
Yeah, seriously.
This is probably his best, though. I have to say this one looks pretty good.
Previous artwork, in the loading screen, his head was about, I don't know, it was
like 1/3 of the screen, and then like his...
And then his body was
warped
around and underneath him. It looked so incredibly awful.
The full splash art wasn't bad, but it's the way they cropped it. It just looked awful.
It was horrific.
But this one looks great. They added like a really cool like trail of his cards leading up to him. Very colorful, very bright. You done?
Yes. So yeah, they did a little preview image of it. They didn't show what they did to Magnificent Twisted Fate.
They only showed like the image of Twisted Fate, but they didn't show.
Well, they showed a couple of end games.
Yeah, they showed. Let's see the.
They did Tango, Musketeer, Heart, and the Cowboy one.
They better be doing something.
They left out Pax and Magnificent in terms of their preview, but I imagine they're working really hard to make those skins,
unique,
interesting, and worth their price.
I would like to pick up a Pax Twisted Fate.
Yeah, my friend got Pax Jacks a couple of months ago, and he is just in love with it.
How was he able to get that? Just eBay?
Yeah, he eBayed it. It was like $20.
Oh, that's not bad.
But
well, Twisted Fate was the first one, so it's probably gonna be a little bit hard to get a code.
Maybe. But yeah, hopefully it'll turn out really great.
He has a new dance. It's the Gangnam style dance, and it's awesome.
It?
Yeah,
that's neat.
Yeah, I'm excited. I love the fact like his cards actually have details to them. So like the red card has a sword on it, the yellow card has like shackles, and the blue card has, I don't know what the blue card has, like a shield or an eye on it.
Probably has a tear of the goddess. But can't wait to see that. Oh no,
it is an eye.
Figures. But there you go, and check that out, guys. Let us know what you think if you're a big TF player. Moving on to our next thing is, of course, the honor system.
Most honorable executioner.
They have a lot of cool new things in place for it. You, of course, can honor your own teammates in one of three ways. For teamwork, for friendliness, or is it helpful, I believe?
There's helpful, teamwork,
and friendly.
Friendly.
And then for your opponents, you can give them honorable opponent. I've been getting a lot of these lately. I've been doing the same to other people. I've been playing with my friends a lot, so we have been...
Yeah, they didn't make it so
we've been abusing it a little bit, but for the most part, it's just been, hey, if my jungle gank for me, I give them teamwork. If, my lane mate and I kind of jab back and forth, we have a good time, you put them down for honorable opponent. If you've got people that didn't, give up after bad things happen, you give them honorable. So I think it's a cool thing where it's just... Even if it is like a false sense of, camaraderie, it's still better than going, "You noob! Bads all day, get on my level."
Yeah,
I would prefer them just this false, just GG, whatever, to "You're an idiot and I hate you." It's better even if it's seems kind of shallow.
And it's weird is because it gives you that sense of, I want to earn these. There's no reward for them yet. They haven't announced like an official reward. They've kind of been tossing around.
Yeah, there have been hints and sort of some things that people think are going to be the reward, but there's nothing solid. It's just a mark on your profile.
Yeah, it's like you have a red one if you're really honorable, or really teamwork heavy. You get like 4 different colors out of it. But that's what people have been saying, and I don't know. I felt kind of good seeing like these points getting marked up instead of like being yelled at for being reported.
Indeed.
So let us know what you guys think. If you guys think this is a great idea, if you guys feel the same way, if you guys think.
And how much honor have you guys gotten? Is my question. I've gotten quite a lot so far.
Without the ones from your friends, how many do you think you got?
Probably like 4, but
I've gotten like 7.
With all the ones I have, I probably have 5 or more of each right now.
Really, 5 of each? Jeez.
Well, I play a lot of League, dude.
I've been playing a lot recently too. As soon as the honor thing came out, I have about 7, but that's without my friends. So I've got about like 10 total.
You don't have any friends.
No.
But guys, let us know what you think. How much honor have you gotten? Do you think it's?
Are you the most honorable?
Do you think it's showing in game in terms of friendliness or whatever? Just let us know what you think. Next thing is a couple of small hinted at things. There's potentially new wards that are going to be out for the Harrowing. It was kind of shown in one of the screenshots for Kha'Zix. Is this cool new ward skin? It looks almost kind of like a ghost with wings.
I see like a skull right there, and then it kind of like 2 wing-sided parts to it. I'll put the image up, but some people have been asking on the forums, and a red named Hippolytus said they've been kind of
he's the e-commerce guy. He's the new one.
Yeah, he's talked about saying that there might be like you can buy skins for your wards.
Well, because they do that in Dota and Heroes of New Earth. You can get like different announcer voices, or in Dota. You can get new weapons for your character model.
Yeah, it's pretty much like hats and stuff for your character.
So I wouldn't be 100% opposed to it.
But the thing is, though, they would have to make it so each one of these skins still looks like a certain ward, because the purple ward has a distinct look to it.
I think with the new eyes over them, I think that's the reason they put the eyes in, because the purple ward has a different eye than the yellow. So instead of looking at the ward model, you're going to be looking at the eye to determine what ward type it is.
Gotcha, but... everybody's so ingrained to those two.
Yeah, no, I completely understand.
I wouldn't oppose to having, like, the Harrowing ones, and then there's, like, a Christmas one where they're snowmen or something like that. Something goofy.
Heimerdinger can stand next to him, get some camouflage.
Which wins 3-1. The one without the mustache.
Ah, crap. But yeah, guys, I think it'll be cool if they add more customization options. Hopefully for not too much RP, though. Finally, there are some new skins coming out. We, of course, had Pentakill Olaf, final guy. We talked about him a little bit last week.
Have you seen it in game?
I have not.
I saw someone playing with it at school the other day. Looks really good. His axes kind of just don't feel right since he's carrying around drumsticks. Him dealing tons of damage with sticks kind of is weird. It's just like, I'm going to beat you to death with skulls.
They don't call me Sticks because I play the drums.
Wait, isn't that why they call you Sticks?
They call me Sticks because I'm tall, man. No, there's another skin in talks, though, right now. It's actually a skin we saw many months ago before the Soraka remake. It's a Battle Priestess Soraka skin. However, this one's made for old models, so there's some confusion, because if rework was in process, why would they make a skin for old model? Either way, Iron Style has cleared this up. He says it was kind of halfway through development. They weren't sure how well the rework was going, so they made this skin. And they're currently adapting it to the new Soraka model. So we will be seeing a new Soraka skin very soon.
The old model for it, they have like a screenshot of it. Doesn't look bad.
Doesn't look bad at all. But with their new model, this should give Soraka players looking for something different, away from the kind of cutesy model she has right now.
Well, you've got normal, you have
Dryad,
and then you have Precurse.
Yeah, Precurse. So this one will be a very different look for her, and I'm glad.
Combat Soraka now finally has a skin to suit the
AD Soraka.
Q.
AP Soraka, scary.
Some other interesting news coming from the community is comic contest.
Loves Comics
has just finished up the initial entries, and they're having people vote right now. The 2 main winners have already been chosen, but everybody's able to vote for their favorites as far as a secondary prize.
Yay.
The winners were decent. I saw some funnier ones. And we talked about this earlier about having the buff being
this is something we thought was weird in the front.
And it did come out weird.
Yeah.
It did feel very
It feels forced. And I hope they revise the rules if they do this again. I mean, they've done Songs of the Summit a dozen times. So I imagine they'll do this contest again because it was very popular.
My favorite, there was one with a very fat Soraka running around stealing people's buffs. And she at one point she eats other teammates and their faces became like buff icon things, and I'm just like, that That seems about right.
Nightmare mode.
Soraka, want blue buff? No, Soraka, you already have red. Soraka wants blue buff! Oh!
But yeah, guys, go take a look at them. It's worth a good chuckle or two, and I'm sure the artist will appreciate a vote in their favor. Then some red posts coming this week. They're talking a little bit about nerfing Ezreal. They recently changed his mana costs and how often he can do certain things, and they're going to tone him down a little bit.
And you can see it at the finals right now. He's been a very heavy pick. He's been played several times, and even the announcers were talking about how if he isn't banned, he has been played, and it's been pretty interesting.
Another thing they talked about this week was Trundle. Trundle's been a champion I talk about him so much on this show.
He should be our third guest.
He really should. But they're finally looking and changing his animations, making him a bit more cohesive.
Thank you.
Because Contaminate slows you down when you first cast it, so it doesn't make it a chasing tool, even though it's his only chasing tool. And Rabid Bite, if you have more than 1.1 attack speed, is a DPS loss. So they're changing him so that way, his kit doesn't betray him.
Betrayed!
And hopefully they'll look into giving him a little bit more damage as well, because he's a cool character.
He's got great concepts and he's fun.
So they just need to make him so he's playable again, and I don't know.
And you can't, I don't want to level him because then he's going to get more attack speed.
Exactly. And finally, the last thing is there's icons available for the World Finals. You can choose the icons of any of the 12 competing teams, set them as your summoner's icon temporarily.
Wait, these are temp?
These are temporary.
I wonder if I don't change it, if it's going to stay.
It might. Who knows?
Dun, dun, dun.
I played around with it for a little bit, but I ended up going back to Pyramid. Pyramid's been my summoner icon.
It's so hard to... You're so used to everybody having their icon, so you know who's who, and then everybody has, the same one. You're like,
Yeah, no, Amamu was my first main, and I got started with Pyramids at level 4, and I've always been Pyramids.
I've always been the blue goop, and I didn't like the blue goop.
You don't like the blue goop?
I don't like the blue goop creator thing, so I went with team solo mid, even though they are not playing in the finals right now. I thought it would be appropriate.
I see.
But yeah, let us know who you're rooting for. If you guys change it, if you think this should be a permanent stay, if they should add other icons.
They need to add other icons.
This is the second time they've proven that they have the power.
I have the power
to change icons!
Well, I'm hoping that I want to see what the gold icon looks like for Season 2.
I thought it was going to be like one of those borders.
I think they're doing both.
Interesting.
But,
gold icon is just like a guy hunched over the computer saying, "No life!"
I hope so. I'd love that. But that's it for official news this week, unfortunately, guys. A lot of it's talking about spotlights on different regionals, but World Championship is the buzz right now, guys. It's going on the 4th through the 6th. It started this morning on Thursday. So check it out, guys. It's crazy to see how good these guys are. It's insanity. So go check it out. I'm sure you will enjoy it.
Now, last major tournament, we had a few characters that became super overpowered, a.k.a. Malphite. He was just kind of
Sleeper OP.
Sleeper OP. Who do you we talked about this earlier, but who do you think is going to be like the new Sleeper OP?
Garen.
Really? I haven't seen Garen once there, big guy.
Oh, Demacia.
But we're going to move on to our own section here.
Our first question this week comes from our email. Was
Global Authority Economy?
Some crazy. But he asks, I recently saw a red post. It was talking about reworking of certain items, such as Tiamat, because it was proving to be an entry barrier. What do you guys think about this issue in particular? And when do you think it's going to take place?
Well, there has been some posts saying that after Season 3, in preseason, or after Season 2...
Season 3's a long way out, buddy.
Yeah. Pre-Season 3, they're going to start working on, rehauling a lot of items. They're going to redo a bunch of them. And I think this might be a good idea, because at this point, there has been a lot of stagnant items that no one uses.
Well, one of the big things I think that they're talking about is, in particular, I think this is aimed to help diffuse top lane a little bit. They've talked a lot about their concern about top lane and its dominance over the game. And so item reworking is one way to impact that.
And I have no problems with it. I think it's going to bring something fresh to the game. There's going to be a period of time where builds are going to be off. No one knows what items are going to be doing, what items are going to be, top tier, lower tier, or bottom tier, what items to avoid, and it's going to give kind of that chaos to the game that is sorely needed at this point.
A couple of items I think that are probably going to get the hammer first. Of course, Tiamat. I'm a big fan of Tiamat. I mean, 2,000 gold for a little bit better than a or not a bloodthirster, but a BF sword. It's essentially a slightly more expensive BF sword that gives cleave. That's awesome, in my opinion. But some people don't like it. But I think that's going to get the axe first. You like that?
Yeah.
The next thing I think is going to get it is Leviathan.
Yeah, snowball items.
Not necessarily the other snowball items.
Really?
People still get Magi's. People still get the sword.
I haven't seen those in forever.
I see them all the time. Especially on characters like Anivia. Magi's is super popular on Anivia right now.
That's interesting.
But the sword and Magi's actually are good in terms of their stacks. Leviathan doesn't pay for itself in terms of its stack value until 12 stacks, whereas the other ones pay for themselves in terms of stack value at 6 or 7, sometimes even 8.
And at that point, you'd probably get a Warmox because it's a better version.
Well, the thing is, no, it's almost as much as a Giant's Belt.
That's right.
And you catch up to Giant's Belt at about 10 to 12 stacks.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
So that's why it's not as good as the other one. So I think Leviathan's going to get changed, or they're just going to take out stack items, period.
Leviathan is just HP, right?
Just HP.
And
the thing is, at cap stacks gives 15% damage reduction, though.
That's true.
Which is insanity. It's insanity. But
it's absurd.
It's garbage until you break 15 stacks. Another couple of items I think that are going to get worked on, especially, are anything that gives resistances and damage.
Resistance and damage items are kind of one of those things that they've been kind of avoid because, again, Solo Top would just
things like Wit's End, Maw of Malmortis, Wriggle's Lantern, even things
for jungle.
Even things like, what's it called? Atma's Impaler. Hugely popular items. And Phage too. All these really bruiser-intensive items that they get every single game are going to get knocked down a little bit. I think Randuin's is going to get knocked down. I think certain items like Youmuu's are going to get buffed.
I hope Ghostblade gets buffed because it always felt kind of a little underpowered compared to some of the other active
ones. And I think they're going to look a lot at items that give ability power and attack speed. There are so many of them right now, and they work for 4 characters.
Kale,
Teemo, sometimes Kagi, but not really.
No.
And so it's like, if it only works for like 4 characters, like Twisted Fate sometimes.
Yeah, because I think the only one that they really need that's like that is Rageblade. Rageblade would probably be the attack speed and ability
Gnasher's Tooth is good because it gives the cooldown reduction.
That's true. Those two should stay, but a lot of the other ones should be looked at because there's not enough ability power and like defensive abilities. They need to add a few like that because
there's a lot of good ability, especially since they added Athene's Chalice. There's a lot of good ability power resistance items.
Yeah.
You have Athene's, you have Abyssal Cloak. Well, they did nerf Abyssal Scepter, but you have your Zonya's. There's all kinds of stuff. Frozen Heart.
Yeah, you got a point there. Just unless I'm looking at the page,
yeah, it's hard to think of them, but they're looking at items a lot, and I hope they change them around and make things a little bit easier and make building really focus your role rather than being able to build anything and still do well. Like the fact that I can go, okay, Murktread's Wriggle Phage, I can outduel anyone in the game as a bruiser.
What was that Scion game I showed you my build for the first time I played Scion that just made you cringe and yet I still did good on it?
Iron Solari. No, AP, Scion's just a good character. But, yeah, I hope they tone down some of the bruiser favorites and make it so you have to build for a role rather than being able to sort of homogenize a build.
Like Sona. Well. Sona can still just build like really supportive and deal tons of damage.
No, her early game is always going to do tons of damage.
I mean, her late game's been doing pretty decent now.
Not great, though. You really have to intensify her build if you want to keep that damage going. Her debuffs are still good. Don't get me wrong, but So yeah, good question. Guys, we love, love, love questions every week. We love to talk about League and whatever. So if you have a question for us about the show, about League of Legends, about upcoming meta, about events in League, really about anything we're happy to talk about, even if it's not related to anything, please, please, please submit them to the comment section below. Send them to our email at spasticgaming@gmail.com or post them on our forums at spasticgaming.com. There's a little forum section in the doodads above.
We love suggestions, guys. If there's something you want us to see, we've still kept in mind some of the other ones we have, like the 1v1s we're still kind of working on.
Yeah, we're working on a best way to set that up.
Yeah, we're also trying to work and kind of get some more League videos out there, like shoutcasting and kind of double commentary, stuff like that, because people like that. They didn't like my like video.
But we're trying to set up a time to do a sort of dual commentary. And of course, JCB and you are doing all kinds of Let's Plays lately.
Yeah, we've been hammering them out.
Leaving poor Axis in the dirt. Jerks.
Oh, I'm sorry. You have more of a life than I do.
I hate to disappoint. But guys, check out some of our other content. If you have suggestions, we're happy to hear them. But otherwise, this has been Axis.
And Water Elemental.
And we are going to go watch the finals, dude. Go check it out and find out which champion that you love is going to get nerfed.